Hello, Morongo Basin and listeners around the world online at Z107.7fm.com. Here is the Z107.7 local news for Thursday, April 20th, 2023. An injured man's trail of blood led back to incidents of vandalism at the Joshua Tree Bottle Shop and Crossroads Cafe in downtown Joshua Tree on Sunday night. Employees of Joshua Tree Bottle Shop confirmed that between 9 p.m. and 11:30 p.m., a rock was thrown through the window of the storefront, located at 61707 29 Palms Highway in Joshua Tree. They also report that a planter in front of Crossroads Cafe, located in the same complex, was destroyed within the same time frame. Joshua Tree Bottle Shop manager Katie Chamberlain told Z107.7 that authorities responded to a report of a bleeding man at the Valero gas station on the opposite side of 29 Palms Highway, and that they followed a trail of blood back to her store. Photographs show broken glass and blood on the floor of the Joshua Tree Bottle Shop and blood on the sidewalk in front of the store. Chamberlain said that a shoe was left in the store by the suspect and that nothing was stolen. Chamberlain estimated the damage to the store to be approximately $1,000. She says county sheriff's deputies told her that the injured suspect, missing a shoe, was arrested on Sunday night, but the Morongo Basin station did not provide any information about the incident. Several stores on 29 Palms Highway in Old Town Yucca Valley were victims of a series of smash-and-grab burglaries. These burglaries are unrelated to the vandalism in downtown Joshua Tree. Bill Dozer, an owner of Desierto Alto, located at 55827 29 Palms Highway, said that his security alarms alerted him to the break-in just after midnight, early Wednesday. Dozer said that the store's front street-facing window was smashed and that the suspect took several items close to the window, but no alcohol. The Yucca Valley outpost of The End, located at 55872 29 Palms Highway, was also broken into via a smashed front window. Owner Kimmy Bazzelli confirmed that she was out of town when the break-in occurred, but she received an alert from her alarm system. Bazzelli said that the hole in her front window was large enough for a person to get through. She was not certain how much merchandise, if any, had been taken from her store. Bazzelli explained that it was hard to determine what was missing, because whoever broke into the store rearranged furniture and items in an ornate fashion. Bazzelli said, quote, "It's almost as if they were playing with our stuff. They got mesmerized." Both Dozer and Bazzelli spoke with sheriff's deputies, who informed them that a suspect in the burglary had already been arrested, and they were able to return some of the stolen items, though the Morongo Basin Sheriff's Station did not provide any details regarding these incidents. Both Dozer and Bazzelli said that their windows had already been patched and that they were waiting on estimates for the damage. It was a relatively packed courtroom on Wednesday for the Pejman Elahi trial, and online news editor Robert Hayden joins us with a recap of the testimony.
In San Bernardino Superior Court yesterday, the main testimony of the day came from Gerald Jonas, the victim who was shot 3 times in November. Jonas started off his testimony saying he doesn't remember much about the specific day he was shot, stating he was under a lot of distress and had lost a lot of blood. His claim of only remembering waking up in the hospital clashes with testimony he gives later in the day. He says he doesn't know much about the man who shot him, saying he showed up at his girlfriend's residence and got in a competition with another man in full riding gear, including a helmet and goggles. However, he says that helmet made it impossible to identify the person. Jonas appeared more agitated and swiveled in the witness chair as he was pressed on details of the day that didn't match up with earlier statements given. When asked by Razuk if he wanted to be there, the witness plainly stated he did not. During a few rounds of cross-examination, Jonas said he didn't recognize Pejman Elahi, despite the court hearing evidence later that he picked Elahi's mugshot out of a lineup of 6 photos, saying it was a 100 on a scale of how sure he was. Most of Jonas's testimony was challenged by a recording played by Detective Aaron Holloway, who interviewed Jonas at the hospital on November 9th. In those 3 recordings, Jonas clearly remembers details, locations, and identities. When prosecution asked him about his failing memories from that day, Jonas plainly stated that he uses a lot of methamphetamine, and later he told defense that he sleeps, quote, like 3 times a month. And you can read a longer version of this story going over more details of the testimony given yesterday. That's all on our website at Z107.7fm.com. Reporting for Z107.7 News, this is Robert Hayden.
Last night, the Morongo Valley Community Services District Board of Directors was scheduled for their regular meeting, but it was canceled due to lack of legal quorum. Assignment reporter Gabriel Hart was in attendance for this brief and mysterious meeting.
With a full meeting agenda and a packed room by 6 p.m., the 3 seats belonging to the controversial board members President Jennifer Henning, Vice President James Whitney, and Fire Commissioner Michael Emery stood empty, leaving Finance Director Johnny Tolbert, Park Commissioner Christina Gorky, and General Manager Fire Chief James Brakebill searching for answers. But after repeated calls to the absent 3 from the present board members on their cells, there were none. At 6:13, Tolbert announced that due to lack of legal quorum present to validify meeting's proceedings, that the night's meeting would have to be canceled.
Legal quorum. Tonight's meeting is officially canceled.
Tolbert's announcement was met with an uproar of applause, followed by Morongo Valley Recall President Shauna Johnson inviting the attendees to help themselves to pizza and snacks in the back, where she was selling t-shirts to benefit the recall of the 3 board members. Johnson said,
just that this is a reflection of who they are, and they know they don't have a leg to stand on, and that they've made a mistake. And that our recall is absolutely valid.
One glaring detail among the board members' truancy was the absence of President Henning's nameplate, while Whitney and Emery's nameplates were regularly displayed despite their no-show. Yet Tolbert could not confirm nor deny whether Henning had stepped down. Chief Brakebill said he had just seen Henning in cheerful spirits at his office on Tuesday, mentioning she'd see him the next day at the meeting. Reporting for Z107.7, this is assignment reporter Gabriel Hart.
Thanks, Gabe. Items that were scheduled to be discussed at last night's meeting included a budget review, Americans with Disability Act compliant toilets for Covington Park, and an update on the fire department's brush patrol maintenance vehicles. Still grieving the untimely loss of esteemed board member Barbara Delph, directors at the Joshua Basin Water District last night put those feelings aside and made the appointment to fill the seat left open by her passing. Reporter Mike Lipsitz is here with the rest of the story.
David Fick was appointed among 2 qualified candidates to fill the Division II seat and finish the term that was Barbara Delph's. Fick brings more than 30 years of local civic engagement and leadership to the board. During his public interview, Fick remarked that if appointed, one of his primary goals would be to see greater transparency on the board. He will officially take the seat next Wednesday, April 26. Reporting for Z107.7 News, this is Mike Lipsitz.
A fundraiser for the recently closed local arts and performance space First World has been announced for May 27th. First World, founded by Bobby First in Joshua Tree, was closed recently after the county received a complaint, and the nonprofit organization has since been working with the county to rectify the issues. This fundraiser, produced by Seth Zaharias and Cliffhanger Guides, will raise money to apply for permits with the county and mitigate any issues that led to the closure through an event featuring musical performances and art auctions. Scheduled for Saturday, May 27th at 4 p.m. at Giant Rock Meeting Room, tickets are available right now at a link in this story at Z107.7fm.com. Qigong is returning to the Joshua Tree Retreat Center tomorrow. The gentle, flowing exercise work that promotes physical, mental, and spiritual balance begins weekly Friday morning classes tomorrow. Instructed by local artist and teacher Doug Blanc and hosted by the Joshua Tree Yoga Studio, these Qigong classes will be held every Friday morning on a drop-in basis and are open to all ages and skill levels. Suggested donation for each class is $5 to $20. In 1938, the 29 Palms Water District and its forebears were the only public agencies in the Morongo Basin. Over the ensuing 85 years, the district has grown to keep the supply of fresh water coming to the growing East End. General Manager Matt Schrag will be the guest on the Z107.7 Up Close show with Gary Daigneault this Friday. Tune in at 10 a.m. as Schrag gives the fascinating history, outlines modern improvements, and looks forward to a bright future for the agency and its customers. Art lovers. A brand new art gallery will make its debut inside Spaghetti Western in Morongo Valley on Sunday. Arts and entertainment reporter Charlie Thomas invites you to pull up a chair for a feast of the belly and the soul.
Saloon Salon is a beautiful new art gallery located at Spaghetti Western Restaurant in Morongo Valley. John Henson and Ben Alanov, 2 local artists, are excited to invite everyone to a reception for their upcoming exhibit there on Sunday, April 23rd from 4 to 6 p.m. The show is called Rust and Nails. Alanov will be showing rusty metal collages and monoprints made of rust on canvas, while Henson is showing his signature nail art pieces, each one an amazing pointillist image composed of thousands of nails embedded into a board. In addition to the compelling and unusual artwork, there'll be live music, 2 classic bars, and of course, outstanding cuisine. The exhibition will run through June 18th. Reporting for Z107.7, this is arts and entertainment reporter Charlie Thomas.
The Yucca Valley High School track and field team faced Indio High School at a meet yesterday. The Trojans lost the meet, but many individual students performed well. Landon Stitt excelled at the 100-meter, 200-meter, and long jump. Austin Dickens did great at discus and shot put. Sydney Jackson was fantastic at 110-meter hurdles and 300-meter hurdles. And Isabella Flores did great at the 100, 200, and long jump. The 29 Palms High School track and field team traveled to Cathedral City High School yesterday for their final regular season league meet of the year. The boys fell short with a score of 90-13, while the girls were victorious, 51-47. Top performances of the day were the girls' 4-person 100-meter relay, Keely Middleton, Jade James, Jada McNeil, and Ania Haynes, who ran a time of 55.82, good for first place. Devon Morris won the varsity boys 400-meter in a dogfight of a race with a time of 55.97. Today at 3:30, the team will have their senior send-off and team field day meet at the 29 Palms High School track. Next week, the Wildcats will travel to Indio High School for the Desert Valley League qualifying meet. That's our local news. Hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. More Morongo Basin residents get their local news from Z107.7 than any other source. Reporting for the Morongo Basin News Leader, the award-winning Z107.7 Local News, I'm Jeff Harmetz.